Bonjour à toutes et à tous et bienvenue dans une nouvelle vidéo Learn to French. My name is Eden and I will be your French teacher for today. I am going to show you the second part of this series, which is called Passé composé explained to beginners. So if you were wondering where the part 1 is, then click link in description for part 1. And today we are going to study part 2. So, are you ready? Est-ce que vous êtes prêts? C'est parti. So remember, in part 1 I have explained the basics of passé composé, and here are a few things that you should know about passé composé after learning what we have seen in part 1. So remember when I told you about how the past participle will change only when the auxiliary verb used is être? Oui, I lied. So this is kind of the reaction I get from my students. The past participle will also change when you use the verb avoir, the auxiliary verb avoir. And here's how. When you use the auxiliary verb être, the past participle will agree with the subject of the sentence, the one that's doing the action, if you remember. Je suis allé à la plage. So this indicates that the speaker, the subject, is feminine. Nous sommes allés à la plage, feminine plural. Il est allé à la plage, masculine. With avoir, well, the past participle will not agree with the subject, but will agree with the direct object of the sentence, if this direct object is placed before the verb. Now let's see how that works. So most of my students will ask, okay, that's great, but what is a direct object? So let's take this example. J'ai mangé une pomme. J'ai mangé quoi? What did I eat? Quoi? Une pomme. An apple. Une pomme is the direct object of this sentence, meaning the object is linked to the verb with no preposition or anything else. It's just j'ai mangé quoi? J'ai mangé une pomme. There's nothing between here. We also call direct object in French COD, complément d'objet direct. Here's another example. J'ai vu Arthur. J'ai vu Arthur. I saw Arthur. J'ai vu qui? Who did I see? J'ai vu qui? Arthur. Arthur is the direct object of our sentence. So the COD, the direct object, will answer to the question quoi, what, or qui, who, quoi or qui. This is what we've seen with our apple and Arthur earlier. So let's try to find the COD here, the direct object. Mon chat mange une souris. Mon chat mange une souris. Mon chat mange quoi? Mon chat mange quoi? Une souris. Une souris is the direct object. Arthur chante une chanson. Arthur chante une chanson. Arthur chante quoi? Une chanson. Une chanson is the direct object. Let's see now how we can apply it to passé composé. J'ai acheté une fleur. I bought a flower. The COD, the direct object, is placed after the verb. Acheter and une fleur. Une fleur is the COD and it's placed after the verb. So in this case, we do not agree. The past participle will not change. However, if we take this sentence, la fleur que j'ai achetée, et e. La fleur que j'ai achetée, the flower that I bought. In this case, the COD is placed before the verb acheter. La fleur, here our flower, is placed before the verb acheter. So in this case, we will agree the past participle with the direct object of this sentence. La fleur is feminine singular, la fleur. So acheter, the past participle, becomes feminine singular as well. Voici un petit exercice. Les phrases sont-elles correctes? J'ai mangé une pomme. Je suis allée à la plage. C'est la voiture que j'ai achetée. Il a perdu mon jouet. Les phrases sont-elles correctes? Je vous laisse quelques secondes. C'est parti? La première phrase est incorrecte. J'ai mangé une pomme. Où est l'erreur? Where is the mistake? J'ai mangé une pomme. So we are using the auxiliary verb avoir, and the direct object of the sentence is placed after the verb manger. So we do not agree the past participle with the direct object. La deuxième phrase est correcte. La troisième phrase est correcte. La quatrième phrase est correcte. Continuons. Ma mère est allée à la piscine. Ma mère est allée à la piscine. Louise a fait la cuisine. Louise a fait la cuisine. Le chat est parti. Le chat est parti. Papa est rentré hier. Papa est rentré hier. La première phrase est correcte. Ma mère est allée à la piscine. La deuxième phrase est incorrecte. Louise a fait la cuisine. What is the direct object of this sentence? La cuisine. We are using the auxiliary verb avoir. And the direct object is placed after the verb faire. So, we do not agree. Le chat est parti. Cette phrase est incorrecte. We are using the auxiliary verb être. And remember, in this case, the past participle, parti, will agree with the subject of the sentence, which is le chat. And le chat is masculine singular. So we do not add an i. Papa est rentré hier. And this is an example of a correct sentence using the auxiliary verb être and the past participle agreeing with the subject. Now, remember, the past participle will agree with the subject if the auxiliary used is être. It will agree with the direct object if the auxiliary used is avoir and if the direct object is placed before the verb of that sentence. Cette vidéo est maintenant terminée. Merci de l'avoir regardée. Feel free to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Learn to French, or visit my website learntofrench.com if you want more content for French learners. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt. Au revoir.